of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
Those that are still present watching here, may I eat this peace and other presence be about your presence. Holy Apostle,
peace and other blessings
be about your presence.
Sometimes your tongue get ahead of your head, your brain, you know. I've been trying to deal with it, but I'm like, I know what he's saying. Do they know what he's saying? You know.
Yeah.
Gotta slow down, man.
That energy is so high, though, Lord, you know.
It's something, but
go ahead, make up an excuse for your partner.
No, it's true.
If it's so high, why he talks so slow? He don't miss a word. He don't miss a syllable.
You know
what I'm saying? Oh, you know that energy is so high. It's very efficient. Yeah, still hear him, man. He's a piece of beast about the present. What did he say? You know?
It's what it's funny. It's funny because in the thought process and try to catch up,
it's there.
It's there.
I know, because I told you when Ahezaah sent down his word to me, and I was writing out these different books, especially the divine book, the main book, the book of the seven seals. Whew. I would go back to read what I wrote, and I said, what was I saying? What was that? Because it came through my brain,
right?
And I'm steadily going, thinking I'm putting down everything, and I was missing paragraphs, man. I was missing so much that I thought I had put down, because so much, it was just so heavy.
Right.
And before I could finish one thought and I'm getting something else, it's like, bing, and I jumped to that. And I was being said, what was I saying? And I had fear. I had so much fear, but Ahezaah is so merciful. So merciful, because even you've witnessed some things that I've done with the book when I go back and you say, hey, what was this? And then I say, oh, boom.
Yes.
You know, but Ahezaah told me once, because I was like shaking, man. I said, oh, Father, have mercy on me, because, I started wanting to tell her about it. I didn't go to high school and, know everything about it. It said, stop worrying. It said, I don't forget anything. And this is my book. It's not your book. This is mine. Whatever I want you to tell, trust, it's going to be in there. You know? And I could go back years later and look and say, what was I saying? Just like that. Because it has proven to me that it's not mine, it belongs to it. But the people out in the world is like, yeah, whatever. Because we had so many false prophets that come in. We got so many out there today that they don't even know how to judge. They've had so many false, like the Pope, supposed to be the Holy Father of Earth.
Yeah. That's what they go. Yeah, that's what they call
They have so many false prophets that they don't know how to judge. Then they think, and they have in their minds how a prophet or a messenger of Allah supposed to be, supposed to act. So if I come and say, get the hell out of my damn face, oh, he can't be the prophet. If I spit, he can't be the prophet. Lord help me if they bust in my house and catch me in the bathroom squatting. He can't be the prophet. Huh?
It's amazing.
Jesus walked on the clouds.
That is true. It's amazing how Ahezaah, you come from the Lord, back from the Lord, and describe where they sent to you. And you follow what Allah has prescribed in His book.
Yes.
So much so that when people see you, they immediately can associate. Like Jesus and all the other messages that came before. came in the light of truth that the Lord sent. But those people are organized religion, which the problem you're talking about now, and the state of Islam, can't recognize the truth of you because
their leaders can.
Yeah, okay.
They're the jinn
Right.
that lead them, that hides from them, that stand and smile in their face and send them out there with that foolishness.
Listen.
They know.
Right.
And that's why they don't even mention me in their services.
Right.
That's why they try to keep quiet, because one thing about the devil, if he don't have an answer for you about a situation, he keep it quiet. See, if they had control of the aliens that's been around this planet, if they had a power over them, they'd have been talking about them. But see, their whole thing is they ain't got no answers, so they want to make you think that when you see an alien ship or all these hundreds of thousands or a million people that have seen them and those that have been abducted, oh, they all crazy.
Yeah.
It ain't happening to them. It's something in your psyche that when you get terrified, your mind just go and create something. And every human being creates the same picture.
Yeah.
You know? So they just be quiet about it, and they quiet about me.
Right.
You know? Because with all that I'm saying, I would have something going on. Some war, some, you know.
Response, yes.
No response. Keep it quiet. Don't acknowledge him. If we don't acknowledge him, then they won't acknowledge him.
Lord, let that be a ploy on their part, the jinn's part, to have all those people that are following them by way of their media, by way of all the things that their means, to keep worshiping them, to keep.
Of course. Of course.
This is my explanation. If I don't have an explanation, I can't show my weakness to
you. See, if you don't have an explanation, if there's something greater than you, how could you say you God?
Right.
Why haven't they ever explained to us why Jesus on the cross don't have hair like the sheep's wool? Just that simple thing. And then you ain't got to answer nothing. Now, don't answer that he's Caucasian skin.
Right.
You know, or just answer why he ain't got hair like sheep wool. Give me that answer, and I'll leave it alone. If your answer is right, because no matter what his color is, he should have hair that's nappy like sheep wool. And then we would say, well, what that white man doing with that kind of hair?
Right.
One question.
But see, they don't even let you bring that up as subject in the Christian church.
No, they don't.
Why is all the holy people Caucasian? And why is it that when they kind of bend towards the truth, them Caucasians look brown in those murals? They start changing the tint to tan.
Yeah.
So you can't say, well, is it Caucasian or is it, what is it?
Right, that's true.
Their answer. Their answer.
They will not give you the clear truth.
Right.
So they don't let you bring it up as subject, as they cut and paste through the Bible.
Yeah.
You know?
That is so true. Because one of the things that I even in Islam today, those familiar with the movie that come out called The Messenger, they would never show you Muhammad at all.
Right.
And
because then they would have to answer.
Right.
Because you get a great amount of people in the world of Islam over in the East that they don't let you hear their voices.
That's true.
The Sudanese and what have you. You will never hear their voices. And if you heard their voices, they'd be too afraid to say Muhammad was a dark-skinned Nubian man who was the color of an olive.
Right.
Even though it's written in the Holy Quran, he was olive complexion or in their hadith or wherever.
Right.
They say his mother was Ethiopian. That was African. That wasn't Caucasian.
Right.
And his father was of the Hashemite tribe. Who was a black tribe. Black, dark skin.
Yep.
So how Muhammad became an Aryan?
Right.
An Aryan Arab. How that happen? When they had no separations in the desert,
right,
around what sea is that?
The Red Sea.
The Nile River.
Nile River, right.
You
Red Sea,
understand?
right.
They had no separations about Africa and Asia.
Right.
It was the desert.
Mm-hmm.
Later on, somebody came and drew up lines.
Yeah.
Huh?
It sure did.
Because as I understand it, they traveled all over from the Middle East and Europe and trade over there
Yeah.
from Africa.
That's true. You know. And their history that they record bears witness to that. That's the thing I don't understand.
Well, a lot of our people is not even investigating.
No, that
If you investigate the history, then you have to question some of the things they telling you.
right.
But see, if we're a people, and we're a whole nation of African American people that won't question or won't raise a voice against Jesus being perpetrated as a Caucasian individual, and they say, well, race don't matter. If race don't matter, why not put him up there as to look like what they say he looked like?
That's right. Exactly.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Because one of the great points in Islam that they quote Muhammad as saying, you know, everybody's equal, like a piece of a comb type of deal, and there's no black or the white, or in that last sermon that they already portrayed. So how is it that when you go over there, those who have made the Hajj, those who know that watch the program have made Hajj, know that there is racism still there.
Racism over there.
That's what I'm saying. Over there, sexism and separation in class and the whole nine.
Yes.
How the king can come before everybody in the Hajj and make his like.
He's special.
True. Right.
Before Allah.
Mm-hmm. So then you have already again broken the very thing that you said Muhammad supposedly believed in, and report and said at his last speech to people.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So it's again.
And how is it that the dark-skinned people were all the Bilalians?
That's right.
All the slaves.
That's right. You know. The local. And it's funny because it's a gentleman at my job, a Jewish gentleman at my job, who was speaking one day, and he was saying how those philosophers about the Ethiopian, those Jews who have they say they have the Ark of the Covenant and compared to their birthright. When they go to Israel, they're third-class citizens. They're the beginning of the slave class at the bottom of the totem pole, and they ain't given recognition or, you know, they have the proofs that we are the true descendants, the Semitics that came, you know, through Solomon and all those.
You talking about the Hebrews?
Yeah.
Yeah, they put them somewhere where you can't even see them. You can't even catch them on CNN.
Nope.
You can't even catch them on the camera, man.
At all.
You catch a camel, you catch an eagle, you catch hawks, you catch lizards. But you can't catch a Hebrew on that camera.
That's true.
The gentleman was sharing with me when he traveled over the east and his shocked at how many dark-skinned people there are.
That's over there. You'd be shocked if you go to parts of China and find out how many dark-skinned people are there.
What they have done is through so-called religious sect, they have set it up where they have divided in religious sect color. If you say Christianity, automatically you think about black folks.
Over here?
Over here, you're right. Over here, right.
Not over there.
Right, but if you say Catholicism,
Catholicism,
you think about Caucasian.
Right.
You think
it depends on where you at, because down South America you think them Hispanics.
But then you say Jews, then you know, in this country you automatically think
the Arab, right?
Yeah.
You understand?
They never mention the Hebrews. They mention the Jews. They calling themselves a Jew is not saying you're a Hebrew.
Right.
And even black Jews have violated the Torah for going with Jews. See, where you think the word jewelry come from?
Yeah.
Jewelry comes from Judaism.
Right.
Jewelry was one of the products, the goods that they serviced. What Jesus was mad about.
Right.
That they raised above the word of the Lord.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So they have all kind of jewelry. You understand?
Right.
It ain't just gold and silver. They got all kind of jewelry, meaning Jews' goods. That's where that comes from. You know what I mean? And those people were the ones who infiltrated. See, it's always just like this community here. We're the first.
Right.
We're giving Allah's authentic word, the book of the seven seals, a new covenant.
Right.
Look how mild-mannered many of us are. Look how laid back many of us are. Are we ready to go to war? No.
No.
It's only by the grace and mercy of Allah we protected, because I can't hardly find a brother in this community that got the kind of heart I got. That's not to say that the brothers are no good, but it's just a certain temperament
Right.
that generally comes with people who want to surrender to the Lord. That's why Ali was so special
Right.
with the companions of Muhammad,
Right.
because he surrendered wholeheartedly, but he was still a lion, a warrior,
Right.
and he ain't let nobody mess with Muhammad, his cousin.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't let nobody step against Islam. You know? Usually in this day and time, and even all days of time, when you get people like that, what do they want to do? They want to take over the religion, or take
Right.
over the organization, behead the leader,
Mm-hmm.
and become the leader.
I know when one of the things that many of the Muslims of today pride themselves on is part of that going to the Hadithism for one, and so-called Sunnah Muhammad, but they raise up what's his name? Not Abu Bakr, the second Caliph, Umar, as the hot-headed to take over, and he's like the standard.
Yeah, for Hadith.
Yeah, the person to follow, not Muhammad or even trying to. It's him.
Umar.
The hot-headed one to take charge, the one to take over, and Ali. And they chose.
Isn't that what people,
Yeah.
the low laid back people generally do?
Yeah.
If I was one who, I remember we had this brother Muhammad Jamal, and he had the voice of a brand of an ass, and we had people in his community and the ones who had formed this community that looked up to him and respected him and honored him because he always raised his voice. I would come and I'd sit back and I'd say, brother, why you do that?
Right.
And they would look at me like, he ain't nobody. But I would decipher everything this man say, but they couldn't see the wisdom of Ahezaah with me.
Right.
But they could hear his so-called force. And that's what they bowed to. They didn't bow to wisdom. They bowed to their ego. I want to be like that. I want to be tough. I want to be this, that, and the other. I'll follow him.
Right.
To a dead end or a cliff. Where he'll say, jump.
Right.
And then look at you and say, look at that fool.
It is. I'm laughing because Allah speak against that in the Quran and said, "Don't raise the voice. The most hated voice to Ahezaah is the brain of the ass."
And they go for
Couldn't
that.
see.
And they go for that.
Right.
They go for that. Look at Christianity. They practice that.
Yeah.
They practice
That. Yeah.
Anybody who got that voice and anybody who can bring emotionalism with him,
Right.
great minister.
Same.
Well, what did he say? I don't know, but he was good.
That's true. It's the same in Islam too. If I know, their whole thing in Islam today is, and those who watch this program know the truth of this. If I know a little bit more Arabic than this brother, then I could be the I could be the man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
See, he done been to school. Especially
it ain't about the wisdom.
No.
It ain't about the understanding, because see, one thing Ahezaah said to me, it's not about the word, it's about the meaning of the words.
Right.
The meaning, what do I mean in what I say? It ain't about what I say, it's about what I mean.
Right.
Now, if you don't understand what I mean, forget about what I said.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, you right.
That's what
if
it
a
is.
brother can fancify his words.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was laughing because the other day I was talking to some people about how I was when I was younger in the streets, and I had learned from a sly fox that if you use intellectual words, big words, the college words, then the people in the streets would bow down to you. And I said, you mean tell me you don't know what you said? I don't know what. I'm talking like you now. You don't know what I said. You mean tell me you don't know everything you said? And he said, nah, sometimes I use words I don't know what the hell I'm saying, but they don't know either. And I said, dag, man. He said, watch this here. And he went and started talking to some thugs, man, and they all bowed down, man, because they didn't understand what he was saying. He said, all you got to do is perfect that, we over. I said, well, that's easy. I started learning words. using big words. Huh? And the minister in the church that my parents helped build come talking. Nobody can understand what he's saying. He's a college student.
Oh, okay.
Nobody can understand what he's saying, but they all bowed down to him and gave him the money and didn't care about him not doing charity to the poor, but sending that money back to Abilene, Texas, to their organization, which was not of this color.
Yeah. One of the great signs about you being with Elijah was know the meaning of the, what you said, study the dictionary.
That's what I had said
Right.
about Elijah had it right when he said, tell them not to read the Quran, let the ministers read the Quran, because our people mess it up. Don't know what we reading. We're not educated.
Right.
You know what I mean? I could say certain words right now. It's like they said, I was arrogant. Brothers kept saying, this brother's arrogant, he's arrogant, he's arrogant. I said, why they keep saying I'm arrogant? I'm not out here, acting foolish, niggerish.
Right.
Not making sense, but just blurting
Right.
out things and saying things because I want to say them. Let me look up the term arrogant and express to them what arrogance really is. And the first thing it was said about arrogance is a person who dresses very well.
The first,
I said, now, they upset about the way I dress.
that indicator pimp really must be arrogant.
Right.
Really must be
Right.
arrogant.
Right.
Or a fancy preacher.
Oh,
Or a fancy
right.
I said, man, these guys, they got it wrong.
Right.
I remember a guy said to me, because I didn't bow down because he put a gun to my face, he said, you crazy. I said, I'm not crazy. You're the one that's out of order.
Right.
See, you don't even realize what's going on here. Do you know anything about life and death? Do you know anything about the reality of power? The thing that's between you and me right now that's keeping you from pulling that trigger? You know what I'm saying? I'm not crazy. I don't fear life and I don't fear death. And you think it's crazy. But see, if you was like me, you would not threaten me with that gun. So we take things out of whack. We take them out of the wrong and put them in the wrong light. Some people think because Allah let one devil shoot another devil, or Allah allow somebody to take somebody's life when it decide that their time has come, they think that they can go and just take everybody's life.
Right.
You can't take everybody's life. We all been meant to do something. You can't leave this plane until you do what the Lord means for you to do. A person can't change you unless the Lord allow that change to come about. And so many of us don't understand that. And they think because they got great numbers in the path of religion that they all gonna be saved because there's so many, it's billions of them. We got to be right because there's a billion of us.
That's the mindset.
Okay. So how many numbers is it of the Lord Most High? How many numbers is it of El? At least 1/3 of you. Because the Lord said clearly in a group of 2, I'm the 3rd.
That's right. That's right.
So you better watch how you count.
That's right.
I'm saying at least that.
You're
Right.
Huh? Now, when Allah talk about man's kind, right? In the group of 3, I'm the 3rd. Man means mind. What minds was he talking about in the groups of 2? How many creatures are there with minds that it is the 3rd of those 2? So stop. You better watch your counting. Watch your counting. You think you got so many numbers that you got to be right.
It's funny because
trap of the ego trip.
Hey man, all I said is if the angels sit back and say, "Hey man, I ain't messing with it," you know, Set was stupid. The devil was stupid. Hey, I ain't messing with it. I know I ain't messing with it.
Yeah, you know, Ahezaah gave it to you and spoke to us that it's back to the simplicity of things. Really, if you chose the most component, simplicity. Part of the condition that the religions is in today because they want to make everything so complex. Everything's got to be
well. Complexity comes with confusion.
Okay.
See, they can't give you simplicity and straightforwardness because then you figure out that they're not right.
Right.
But as long as they can make things complex, and you can't figure it out, then they can stay in charge. See, like they taking out the word noon from the Holy Quran. Noon, Allah said to me, noon means that which is to be recognized as real, that which is to be acknowledged. Okay, this whole world of creation. In this world of creation, Ahezaah, the is to be recognized as the one reflected.
Right.
There's one of it in every kind of reflection of it.
Right.
And it's still that one that everything else is reflected. So their numbers don't count. It's the one that's to be recognized. It alone. And that's what noon means.
Right.
Now they don't want to express that in the Holy Quran. I mean, in the translations of the Holy Quran, because then they will have to explain why is it to be recognized.
Right. That's right.
Well, I should be recognized because I'm Sheikh. I mean, ma'am, I got a community. I'm this, that, and the other. They don't want you to recognize the one to be recognized. We're supposed to be studying the religion of Islam to get to Allah. They study the religion of Islam so they could get to being a teacher. They could get to being a leader. They can get to being rich. They can get to being recognized. They can get to being praised and worshipped and followed and bowed down to. That's what they use religion for. Religion is the words that Ahezaah sent down. I mean, the way of life that Ahezaah sent down. That's what religion means.
Right.
It's meant to reflect it. Reflect its words. You get into that reflection and you come to it. Come unto it. You see it. They say it is the unseen. Yes, but it can be seen by your sensory perception. It can be seen by your understanding of it. It can be seen by you recognizing that everything is a reflection of its thoughts. It said be in its thoughts and it made things be. We living in a world of a dream that seems real to us. So we take this dream as real.
Right.
And it's only going to last for as long as it causes it to last. But it lasts, it's infinite. Like I said about its power. If it had to exert energy from itself to make things be, then that means it can experience pain. It can experience life and it can experience death. And that's impossible for it.
Yeah, because in that mistranslation in the first book of the Bible, Genesis, the Lord on the seventh day, it rested. Giving it human qualities.
There are certain things that Ahezaah gave me. It said, first of all, it wasn't days that it created creation. It was stages that created creation. But in stages, you could say it's days. And in terms of it resting, it rested. It mean it became satisfied to a certain degree with certain creations that it had made. It didn't rest itself. But the devil make you think that it rested when it told Muhammad, tell him I neither sleep nor slumber.
Right.
Straighten that out, because I never rest. If I rest, everything will be gone. If I had to rest, that means that I'm not, complete. I'm not perfect. I'm not holy.
Well, like you said, and that's a mercy. Straighten that out. That's a mercy.
Yes, it's a mercy.
So with that being said, we want to thank you for tuning to this program.
Man, peace about your presence.
To keep up with keeping your lives tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed?